Lewis. Hey, Luke. What's 9 plus 10 plus 10?
31.
That's right, episode 31 of the Luke and Lewis Show. Welcome back, guys. Happy to be here. Hope you guys are having a wonderful time listening to our podcast so far. What would you rate that 21-31 joke?
Well, I don't think, again, we say this a lot, but I think a lot of people give this podcast a chance. They give it a go,
Yeah.
And then often we lose 90% of our audience in the first
That might have been a record.
10 seconds.
That was definitely 7. That wasn't 10.
Yeah.
I'm efficient at this.
Our podcast has just turned into a Vine at this point.
You listen to, check out the new Luke and Lewis, and you hear 31, and you're like, that's enough. Like a Vine.
Yeah.
Perfect. 6 seconds of Luke and Lewis, and that's your fill of garbage for the week.
So
Great.
we should start off like spin-off YouTube channels and then off this podcast. And
We should
and
become
become
YouTubers.
the biggest YouTubers in the world.
Yes, and
Yep.
then let's film corpses and vlog it
Yes.
while wearing silly hats. That's good. That is good.
Whatever happened to that King Batch guy?
Oh, yeah.
I don't see a lot of him. Like, you see a lot of Logan Paul, see a lot of David Dobrik on trending and stuff. There's a few of them that there's that girl as well. She was in that documentary on Netflix, and she talks about the rise to fame on Vine. It was about like...
Did they do a documentary about Vine?
No, it was like a documentary about new media.
Okay,
And
yeah.
they got, obviously, people from different areas, and her one was like Vine, they got to do from a company. And it was just like how she just blew up overnight. And then, I'm not sure what's happened to her. You'd recognize her. I recognized her from
there's
a bunch of different viral
Gabby
shit.
Hanna girl. I
It
met
might be
her.
Oh, no, not her.
No, I met her in LA.
But
She seems to be doing really well.
Have you got an update on what... obviously, these people are still doing well, but I just don't see much of them.
King Batch is still a little bit relevant.
Is he
I see him a lot.
YouTubing, though?
Yeah, he's YouTubing.
Oh, so he has a YouTube channel. I just didn't know that.
Just looking him up now.
I think there's lots of on YouTube. There's lots of like black creators that just have heaps of like African American fans, and that's it.
Maybe I just know Logan Paul because I'm white.
He's still
I
relevant.
think so.
And
yeah.
like, there's a bunch of
that's
people...
definitely for us.
Yeah, like there's a bunch of people going like, what's that Logan Paul guy doing?
Mm.
Actually, no, everyone... I feel like...
Because sometimes I'll watch like an African American vlogger, and they'll go, "Today I'm finna do this," and I'll be like, "What's finna?" And then I'll just realize I'm too white for this.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah, that's fair enough. Any update? No, that's fine. I don't really care.
He made a video last week that got 700,000 views.
Oh, he's
so he's
killing
still
it.
very
So he's
relevant.
doing much better than the both of us combined.
Oh.
As usual, when we talk about people on this show,
Yeah.
doing much better than both of us.
Yeah, but we don't mean any disrespect. I'm just
No.
curious. I mean, I just want to know if he's killing it, and he is.
I'm
Good on
finna
you,
find
King
out what
Batch.
he's up to.
But that's what he's up to.
That's good.
Do you reckon his name is actually Batch? That's not
Maybe
a
his
name.
name's King.
There's no way his name's King. That's why I went straight to Batch.
Probably.
Is he the one who had that boxing match the other week? Or was that someone else?
Who
I would-
else had a boxing match?
So I would say...
No, it didn't fucking that. What's the
Fuzi.
dude with the huge nose? Yeah, Fuzi
Fuzi.
Tube had a boxing match.
King Batch.
I reckon
real
it was
name.
all
Hang on.
what?
Is he Jewish?
No.
Oh, okay.
He just has a huge nose.
Yeah, right. I just thought you were just being...
No,
asshole.
no.
Oh.
I think that the whole boxing fight was just a ploy to get his nose broken, so he had an excuse to fix it.
I was thinking that the Australian King Batch is definitely Mr. Tim Robards, because he is the king of all the previous bachelors on the show.
Who the fuck's Tim Robards?
He's the first ever bachelor. Yeah, he's the
Can
king.
you still know his name?
Would you like...
I want to know what Tim Robards doing today.
I mean, I know. He's a personal trainer and he's killing it. And I think he did a short stint on Home and Away recently. It's a fall from
Rough.
grace, isn't it?
Not even Neighbours.
Yeah.
And Neighbours would suck.
It is a...
That's like going on My Kitchen Rules instead of MasterChef.
Yeah.
Last night, he had a night out with his bae.
He's bae.
If you were just asking what
Oh,
he's
so
up, what
is
he's
that
up
Tim
to.
Robards. Anna.
Anna.
Yeah.
Mm.
Anna's a lot more famous than him.
She was she a contestant?
Yes, they're still
they're
together.
still together.
Yeah, season 1 people are still
crazy.
together. So is season 2.
Right.
Oh no, season 3. I forget. There was that. So would you like me to rank my Australian bachelors in order?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So
No one?
no, absolutely. In fact,
Sound off below.
no.
Rank your Australian bachelors from best to worst. I would love to see
I
what you
will
guys
not be
think.
reading these comments.
I will be, and I'll be
the sound off. Sorry,
and I'll
we
be
don't leave
saying if I
comments.
agree with you. I have a very. There is a right order, by the way. There is a correct answer to this. And if Bitch Boy Blake is even in your top 4, maybe we'll ban you. I don't know. So that dude is an asshole.
He's actually on Neighbours, not Home and Away, so he's on the better show.
I was
good.
mistaken.
All right, that's good.
I think there's a lot of guys on Home and Away that looked like ex-Bachelor contestants. So
Oh yeah.
I met a guy on the weekend that I was like, dude, you're definitely going to be on The Bachelorette. I told him to his face. He just had that vibe about him. He didn't even really like the show. I'm like, you're going to be in The Bachelorette in the next 3 years? And he's like, really? I'm like, yeah, you are.
Why?
He's just was that guy. He was like he's a MotoGP rider, really nice guy.
Yeah.
Name was Richie. He was a hunk of meat.
Oh, so you just got a little bit horny.
It was kind of a way where I could pass off hitting on him as
Yeah.
conversation.
That's
for
good.
sure.
But he was he had an interesting, cool job, and he had a really square head.
Yep.
And
Chiseled jawline.
probably looked good in a suit.
Nice hair. And
Oof.
yeah, I am describing him. This is getting flustered
Yeah.
right now.
Oof. Ah.
Yeah. It was weird actually. It was talking about like Australian different. So on the weekend, I went to another music festival.
Yeah.
Now,
just living the life.
Living
'Cause
the
that's,
life.
That's something that you would love to do
yeah.
in your free time. You would, if you weren't being paid
Yeah.
by Nobby to do that, you would have been going
I
there
definitely
anyway.
would have been
right?
going there anyway. 'Cause
Absolutely.
just love all the people there.
Yeah.
It's definitely not the worst representation of society that
Yeah.
we have.
Absolutely
All I
not.
could-
A festival in Cairns?
Yeah.
Bro, you'd have more winners there than like the Nobel Prize award ceremony.
Yeah. All I could think of was honestly like, if the
Jeez, we've got a bright future.
if the blokes who fought at Gallipoli saw this shit
Yeah.
at what they fought for, our freedom, and those blokes who lost their friends, lost their
Yeah.
families,
Mhm.
if they saw like what I saw, like a 15-year-old girl munted in the mud
Mm.
at an all ages music festival, I'd just be like, the Turks can have it. It's like, well, it was just gonna go to fucking waste anyway, wasn't it?
What are we doing here?
Like, it was just such a bad representation.
I
of
thought I was
humanity.
dying in the mud so that children didn't have to. What are you guys doing?
It was fun, but it was like, god damn, it got messy. And the gross part is when the crowd leaves at the end,
Yeah.
it's just landfill. What was a paddock when I first walked in, they got there at the start of the day,
Full of litter.
grass. The end of the day, plastic is
that
the
sucks.
floor.
I hate that.
It's terrible.
But do they have bins anywhere
Yep,
though?
every 10 meters.
Oh, that sucks then.
And they weren't even overflowing. Sometimes it gets to the point where they haven't got enough bins, and therefore
Yeah.
they start to overflow, so then the rubbish goes
Nothing you can
everywhere.
do there.
They were not even overflowing.
Oh, great.
People are like, oh, what?
That's
Walk
awesome.
5 meters? No, I'm being a piece of shit.
And I bet all of those cunts were like sharing Greta Thunberg's speech going, well, we need to do something.
I know. And that's another thing I thought was like look, I'm not saying all the females in the crowd were
I am.
feminists, but I'm saying that surely, percentage-wise,
Yeah.
there had to have been some girls who were like, we believe in equality.
Yeah.
Had to be.
Yeah.
At a music festival with 8,000 people, there have to be some girls there that believe in equal rights. Has to be.
It was Cairns.
True.
So-
But Tiger got up again, right? We talked about him last week.
Yeah.
Now, he, by the way, did a better performance.
Yes.
He tried. Clearly his management had a stern talk.
Because he
to
did
him.
2 horrible performances in a row.
Terrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It
then
was all over Twitter. Tiger sucked. He's lost a fan.
yeah, he came out and he put in a lot more energy. I couldn't fault him for effort.
He obviously got a call of,
Yeah.
Tiger, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, we're paying you heaps to be here.
Yeah.
And, there's 15-year-old girls munting in the mud that want to see you.
Imagine having to be told, hey, you have to do a good job when
Yeah.
you perform and it's your dream.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, like
Imagine have to be reminded of that.
reminded, like, oh, this is your job and you should be doing it. Oh, right, yeah, of course.
Like there's so many times I've gotten on stage where I feel shit or I'm sick, but I'm still like, well,
you forget-
they fucking paid.
I forget that I'm sick. Like, sometimes I get...
Yeah.
When as soon as before I start the show, I'm like, oh, I'm a bit tired. And then as soon as the crowd's there and they're into it, I'm like, and then I just crash after the show. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like I live on a adrenaline or like there's
Yeah,
a high for
and
an
then you
hour and I
die.
love it. And then I just, afterwards, I'm like, I didn't realize how sick I was
Yeah.
up there.
Mm.
But, so, there has to be some girls in the crowd that believe in equality.
Yeah, at least 2 in Cairns.
Apparently not at a Tiger show because he just was cheering the most misogynistic shit and females were like, fucking yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, you know what I hate? You know what I hate? When these hoes ain't playing. All right, spin that shit. I looked it up. It's not even what the song's called. He had the one
where he hates when these hoes are not playing.
It did not make sense.
What
And he had another one where he did this weird lead into a song. He had a back and forth with his DJ, and it was obviously rehearsed and scripted. So I was like, all right, this is like a bit. I can tell, I can tell when things are scripted.
Yeah,
we do it all the time. You can see through it a bit.
Yeah, we script every episode of Luke and Lewis.
Yes.
We sit down, we come in 6 hours beforehand, and we nut out the script, and we do it word for word.
And I say,
this is actually take 3 of the show.
And I'm like, you just fucked that bit up.
Fuck, we gotta start again.
Remember, we'll go to that bit about being take 4.
That's true. Anyway, coming up next is that bit about Tiger.
Yeah.
Because this bit wasn't going very well.
But
we should have taken it out of the script.
Yeah, but we didn't.
No,
we didn't edit that part. Now, what was I saying? Yeah, he did this weird rehearsed bit with the DJ where he's like, hey, you know what they told us? I forget what his name was. Say his name was Jim. It wasn't, right? But he was saying it was Jim.
DJing.
He had some name that I couldn't remember. It was like, hey, you know what they told us, Jim? Do you remember? And then Jim was like,
don't be shit, Tiger.
And
that's what they told you. Don't do a shit performance because you did 2 in a row.
Thankfully, Jim stuck to the script and didn't say that.
Right.
He goes, why did they tell? So his job is just to be his yes man. He was like, why did they tell us, Tiger? He's like, you know what they told us, Jim? And he just kept going back and forth. Yeah, what did they tell us? You know what they told us?
Please
you know
tell
what
us.
they told us?
Please tell me.
I'm in the audience going like, fuck, this better be good. like whatever they told you better be worth.
Better come on. The secret of immortal life.
Yeah. But it's like he literally got like to this massive build up and he goes, Cans, do you know what they told us? And everyone's like, ah. And then he's like, the hoes ain't wrong. And then the song just goes, dong, 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 dong. And I'm just like, that didn't make sense.
The hoes ain't wrong.
You know what they told us? The hoes ain't wrong. Because it started off where he's like, this is why I had to be single. Oh, that's why I've skipped that bit. That was probably important. Still doesn't make sense. He goes, people told me I had to be single when I came to Australia. And then he's like, you know why? You know why they told us? You know what they told us? And then he kept on doing that.
Oh, because the hoes are not wrong.
Yeah, but I didn't get it still. Do you know what that means?
I don't know. But I feel like
I think you might have a song about hoes not being loyal. But
no, that's Chris Brown, isn't it? Or maybe he's on it.
They all have shit songs. Dude, it was so misogynistic.
Yeah, Tiger's on the Chris Brown song.
Oh, Tiger's on it.
So maybe it was that song.
These hoes ain't loyal.
It's
very strange. Like, it's like...
It was wild to me that girls were just screaming for this shit.
Well, it's easy to criticize him and being like, oh, I can't believe he writes all this stuff that like objectifies women.
I wasn't saying that. I don't give a shit what he writes. Good on him. He's an artist or whatever. Like, that's like saying we can't do edgy jokes.
No,
I mean, fuck. But I'm like, it's funny that girls who would hate on us for making a joke on Twitter were fucking frothing it. That's what was bothering me.
Yeah.
It was the people that were frothing it.
Yeah, I think the reason why he writes so much stuff is like that, where is because when he goes, all women are whores and only good for sex, and then chicks go, woo!
Yeah, that's what bothered me.
So it just keeps happening.
Bit where it just sings about, like, again, you might know. I don't know any of his songs, so I just heard bits and pieces.
I know some.
There's one bit where a chorus just goes bitches and marijuana, and he just repeats. It's like he just talks about the two things in life that he enjoys. He's just funny. Like bitches and marijuana, and I forget what he rhymes marijuana with just something tacky. There was one where he rhymed dip with, so he's like hit that dip. Take a sip or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's
sounds like him.
Like, dude, this motherfucker's Dr. Seuss. It's like he got on rhymezone.com and he was like, I got that dip line. He's like, oh, okay, dip. And then
1 fish, 2 fish, 3 fish, girls are whores. And that's a Tiger song.
Is that actually?
No.
Oh, it probably is. I don't know.
It fucking could be though.
Yeah.
It sounds like it is.
There was one of his rhymes was great. He was like, pack that ass, spend that cash. And it was such a stretch. He tried to rhyme ass with cash.
Yeah. See, Eminem's really good at that, making stuff rhyme that doesn't necessarily rhyme. Some people just go,
but
ash,
he ended up saying ash to make it rhyme with cash. Instead of saying ass, he was like, ash. And then he slurred the word ass.
Not good.
But no, you know what? In all, to Tiger's defense, I think I'm the only one in his corner this weekend. It was better.
That's good.
Only because he set the bar very low.
Yeah.
If that was his first one, I might have been like, hang on, this guy's not great. But although the crowd was pumping for 10 minutes and then just
I was just going to say, you would never listen to more than 3 Tiger songs in a row. Like, Tiger is like, oh, I want to listen to like a club banger and then continue on.
You wouldn't put his discography on in the car.
No.
Or a greatest hits from Tiger.
No, I don't think
you'd
there is
have
such a thing.
No.
Because they're all the same. It's just like club tracks.
Yeah.
You're
And
supposed to listen to it in
greatest
between
hits
other.
implies that they're great as well, which
That's true.
is-
Rack City,
Rack
fucking
City.
banger.
I didn't even realize that was his song.
Yeah.
Because he was playing so many of other... You know, he just started playing Post Malone's song.
That's awesome.
Because he just started...
I wonder if Post gets paid for that, surely.
He just dropped Wow, and he just goes, yeah, cans, and then like he just like plays Post Malone, and everyone went nuts. I was like, this is so weird, yeah. And then that's what I mean. When he played Rack City, I was like, I don't even know. I know this song. We're like, is this his? Turns out that one is his big song.
Funny.
No, and there was another. But by the way, he just goes at one point. He's like, oh, all right. It was like 30 minutes in. I was extremely bored. He's like, all right, cans, it's time to mix it up. Yo, let's switch it up, huh? And his DJ's like, yeah. And then they didn't. There was 10 more minutes of the same shit.
Just more club
Because I was
shit.
like, great, good idea. You should have
Tiger's gonna
switched
do
it up.
something different.
Yeah.
Maybe an emotional song.
Nah, he
No?
didn't like bring out a piano and wow
Bummer.
us with music. He
funny.
continued to play another club track.
That's awesome. We just got back from Bendigo last night, Luke. Luke travelled from Cairns all the way to Bendigo to open for me.
Yeah.
Which was cool. That was a fun show.
I think I was the only person in the country that went from Cairns to Bendigo yesterday, surely.
Yeah.
Who else would... I don't think there was anyone else on my flight going like, all right, now I've got to go straight to
I don't
Bendigo.
think so.
Because
No.
I reckon... I was thinking about this at the airport the other day. How many people per day would travel between even Cairns and Melbourne? I reckon there'd be like 6 flights. So maybe like 3,000 people
Yeah.
a day.
Yeah.
Going between Cairns and Melbourne. There's no way any of them are going to Bendigo.
I don't think so.
Maybe one.
So well, that's interesting. So you are the only person that's gone from Cairns to Bendigo, but also that's definitely nothing to be proud of.
No.
'Cause you've gone from one hole to another.
Yeah, I'm like bragging on my Instagram story, like, I'm going to get there. And everyone's like, all right.
Why would you do that?
Everyone's like, you should stay in Cairns. I mean, even that's a bit shit, and that's better than Bendigo.
But the Bendigo show was fun. Luke got up and, as predicted, the first thing that happens, I announced Luke, he's a surprise guest.
Yep.
Not many people know he's coming there. I go, welcome to the stage, Luke Kidgel. Everyone goes, hey! And then a few people start going, fog bit! Everyone starts yelling him to do the fog bit straight away. They don't even clap. They just go,
first
fog
thing.
bit!
Everyone was like cheering and yelling fog bit.
You all right? Keelan's almost fallen over.
Keelan's just knocking over lights in the background.
So excited about the fog bit. He was like, yes, we're going to talk about the fog bit.
He's like,
If you don't know, guys, in an emergency episode
Yeah.
that we released, what was it, last week?
2 weeks ago, I think now.
2 weeks
when
ago.
my wedding was.
We were talking about writing jokes in the process of it, and we got onto a joke Luke was working on that just wasn't really
It was a
working.
joke that I had about almost a year ago, maybe like 9
Yeah.
months ago. It was supposed to be in this year's tour, I think.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was the first bit I wrote after the tour. No, I think it was supposed to be in this year's show even. The
I think so.
Tambourine tour.
I think it was.
And it was a bit that never was working. Like it was getting laughs, but it was never crushing.
Yeah.
And by the end of thing, I tried it so many different variations of this bit. I was like, this just isn't funny.
Yeah, so there were a few times where Luke was like, oh, help. And we put in all of our energy into this fog bit, and both of us believed in it. We were doing CPR for months, going, come on, stay with us.
And it was like coughing up. It was like, it was on the ground. It was alive, but it wasn't
every now
conscious.
and then it would jolt, and one audience member would go, ha, fog.
Yeah.
And then it would die.
So then we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, and then Lewis said on that podcast, from now on at all of Luke's shows, scream fog bit and force him to do it.
And boy, they did.
I hadn't done a gig since then, so I've just had come off the longest break I think I've ever had since I started doing stand-up. I haven't had 4 weeks off. The last time I performed was opening for Andrew Schultz, which was the day before Grand Final day.
That
So
was a while ago.
almost just over a month off, which is weird. And so I was like, all right, first time back on stage, let's just ease into it.
Time to do some tried and true material, work your way back into it.
No, that's the thing. I'm not doing that. So first time in my career, I'm forcing myself, clean slate. I'm never going to repeat an old joke of mine.
Good. That's good.
Which is scary. Well, not really. It's just like...
But it's good for you.
Well, I've tried to do that in the past, but you always have the fallback of because you get a paid gig and stuff, and you're like, I got to kill. I'm being paid to be here.
Yeah.
I should just be crushing. So you do some new shit in the middle, then you just do your tried and tested, you annihilate, and it feels good. And then afterwards, I've been doing that for like a year and a half. Just
Yeah.
been like crushing because my old comedy is amazing. And no, but then after the special,
See, I know that sounded like a brag, but all that really sounded like was that you're going down.
yeah,
Because, my old stuff I'm crushing.
no, well the new
But
stuff.
the new stuff.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Fog.
So because I did the new stuff
Yeah.
last night.
Yeah. No, you smashed. You
I
did really well.
surprisingly well.
Yeah.
And I was like, because I hadn't been on stage for 4 weeks, and B,
And it was all
it was
new.
all new.
Yeah.
And I was
He
coming out
literally
there.
went out there with notes of like, I'm going to try this
I
one. and
was
that one.
writing jokes on the plane yesterday,
Yeah.
and I tried most of them on stage.
Yeah,
so
you did
it was
well.
very new. Some of the jokes were 5 hours old,
Mm.
and no, but it was cool. And because I didn't go through many of the jokes with you beforehand. I didn't realize
Yeah.
in your show this year you have a bit about Tiger Airways.
Yeah.
I also opened with a big long bit about Tiger,
Yeah.
and I hadn't seen Lewis's show yet.
Yeah.
We didn't communicate.
I think every comedian has a bit about Tiger.
Yeah, I know,
'cause
but
we all fly
it's
it.
like having an Uber bit or like it's a classic thing. Where
Yeah. It actually happened at my Sydney show. Billy Darcy, who opened for me, had a joke about Americans thinking Australians are hot. And
you
then,
have a
and I
bit
didn't hear
about it.
any of his set because the backstage was soundproof. And then I go up and I start doing the joke.
Yeah.
And then, and it was like the same
You
topic.
said that's something you clearly like. I could tell you missed a bit of my set last night when you were at the back because you came out and you asked exactly the same thing
Oh,
to
really?
the same guy
Really?
about the mechanic guy,
Yeah, the bald guy at the front.
bald
was the
guy. So
mechanic.
I'd already had this exchange with him, and I was like, "Oh, so what's happening?" And I also asked, like, "What's the new thing? What's been happening in Bendigo?" And you asked that as well.
Oh, really?
and
Oh,
that's why
fuck.
by the time you did, everyone was like, "What? Still nothing."
Yeah.
it's fucking
It's
Bendigo.
like, well, we just saw Luke. That's the newest thing that's been happening since now
Yeah.
and when he
and then
asked.
this other guy like did this bit about mechanic, and I just called him a racist, and then I moved on
That's good.
because he said I was like, "What's your favorite car?" And then he was just like, "Well, here's all the things I don't." And he just started. He goes, "I don't like European cars. I don't like whatever car." And he was like naming all the countries' cars you don't
Yeah.
like. I'm like, okay, I asked what one you did like, not all the races in which you don't enjoy their car models.
That's good. But man,
Ripper dude,
when
though.
you drop the fog bit, I've never seen any comedian smash that hard. Like people were
agree.
crying.
Yep.
People stood up.
Yep.
You got a standing ovation.
Yep.
Halfway through the fog bit, they thought you were done.
It's
It's like one woman started crying. She was like, "I've never
Yeah.
seen anything this good."
There was a-
She was having a horrible day, and you ripped out the fog bit, and she just started to cry.
There was a lady that was like 9 months and 2 days pregnant in the front row. She gave birth. The first thing she did was like, she's like, "Sign my baby."
It was the best bit of
Yeah.
stand up I've ever seen.
Yeah.
In fact, I tried to watch it just this morning. All of the SD cards corrupted because you smashed so hard.
Oh, no.
Hey, can we recover that footage, Keelan?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Damn it. I really wanted to upload that because that's the best bit of
Well, I
comedy I've ever
I
done.
don't think that it would, even if the footage was there, I don't think it
Guys.
would work because Keelan wouldn't be able to hold the camera.
Yeah, you were probably laughing so much.
He
I
was
think I
having a
broke the
seizure.
tripod.
Yeah.
Anyway.
In fact, me and
Laugh
Keelan and
waves.
I, we were talking about the fog bit on the way home from Bendigo, and I just recorded some of the conversation just because it was such a beautiful moment talking about how good the fog bit was. Man, how good was that show?
That was such a good show.
So good. I can't get over how well the fog bit went.
That made the show.
Oh, it was crazy.
The fog bit made the show.
It was like when Luke did the fog bit, when he walked out on stage and everyone was like, "Fog bit, fog bit." How crazy was that?
Yeah, that was exciting.
Yeah, I can't believe they made him do it 3 times.
Yeah.
That's so nuts.
3 times. It
Yeah.
got better every time.
It got so much better. Like he would finish the fog bit, and then they'd be like, "One more time, one more time," and they didn't let him do anything other than the fog bit like 3 times.
20 minutes of fog bit.
Yeah, it was so fucking good. Can't believe you did the fog bit 3 times in 20 minutes.
It's almost like you've built this up so much that you're trying to get people to yell at every show.
That's not what I'm doing.
It seems like
No, that's not what I'm doing. I'm just telling you what actually happened when you did the fog bit at the Bendigo show, when people started to cry, a woman passed out, and they were like, "Oh, one more time, do the fog bit again." You had to do it like 3 times. It was crazy. You were exhausted by the end of it. You're like, "Guys, I can't keep doing the fog bit." I got out and people were like, "Boo, bring back the fog bit." It was crazy.
You know what? Let's make it a rule. All right. I will only ever do the fog bit
3 times in a row.
No, upon request. I'll only ever do it if the audience chants or yells repeatedly to do
You have
the
to
fog
earn
bit.
the fog bit.
Yeah. It's not a.
And you
it's
know
a
what?
gift.
Each time the fog bit is performed,
Yes.
to get it again,
Yeah.
it's harder.
Yes.
Difficulty increases.
Yep. So
So-
by the end, you have to be pretty much on your feet chanting
Yeah.
fog bit, fog bit.
Someone in the subreddit.
What's funny is it's like an okay bit.
It is pretty good.
You know what?
You know.
It actually did kill so much.
But we couldn't.
So much harder than it ever has.
We
And
couldn't work out if it killed because
Yes.
it is an incredible bit, or if people were just excited
did you
to
hear
hear
the
it.
punchline that I came up with?
Yeah, I think so.
It's
yeah.
pretty fucked.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
It's a good one. And half the crowd was like, "Oh," and half the crowd was like, "Fuck."
Well, I'm so excited that it's over because now I get to hear it again.
Yeah.
Oh, what were you saying?
Someone in the subreddit said, "Boys, I'm blessed. The fog bit was unreal."
Oh yeah, we have a subreddit now on Reddit. If you want to check it out, Luke and Lewis.
It's been going off.
It's been going nuts. There's been lots of people posting like fan art and memes.
I don't know
and
how many
shit.
people use Reddit.
Oh, I've like only 200 and something on there.
Yeah,
It's like another sound off section with images and memes.
Man, 200 a week.
224.
Pretty
I mean,
good.
I didn't never go on Reddit, so I'm pretty
I rarely use
surprised.
it. I've started to
I'm gonna have to
fucking
get on
check
board.
it. Another thing to look at.
Can't wait. Nothing to post
Awesome.
on. Love.
Yep.
Show us
Woo!
your thumbs, boys. We all
Lots
love
of posts.
posting.
Who
so-
loves posting? See these babies?
Yeah.
You know how many posts I've done with these?
So many.
I couldn't even count.
I love posting on 7 different social media platforms
Every day?
every day.
Sometimes multiple times. a
Yep.
day. Yeah. Great.
Great.
Awesome. Love my job. But you know what? The fog bit makes it all worth it.
It does.
Yeah.
Should I change it, or should that how I did it last night? Should that be
Oh, no, it
always
went-
the bit?
It went really well.
No. I meant like, should I add more to it, or should I just keep that?
I think that you should do the fog show.
Next year, I do the fog tour,
Yeah. Fog show.
and it's
fog
just
show.
like the show starts, and
Yeah.
it's just like dry ice enters the
Yeah.
stage, and then everyone's just like fog bit,
Yeah.
bit, like, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, the Fog King, and I
Yeah.
walk out in like a deep haze.
Mm.
That'd be cool.
But you don't get it.
And I do all my shows at 4 a.m. out in the bush.
Yes. Yeah, that's great.
For proper
That
fog.
is good. And you vape the whole time. so, so before you tell a joke, you go,
Yeah.
that would be good.
Yeah, I'm like a dragon, but I'm not. I'm just a piece of shit.
We had something happen at the Bendigo show to Keelan, which I'm very happy about. As you guys know, there's a bit of an issue with how patrons are treating Keelan, where they feel, oh, the boys make fun of Keelan, and I listen to the show,
Yeah.
so that means I'm friends with Keelan and I can make fun of him.
I've noticed that a little bit, and it's like, Keelan's a nice guy.
Yeah,
We're all friends.
Keelan's nice.
That's why we
Also-
joke around.
he's working.
Yes.
So leave him alone.
Yeah. And also, this is completely off topic, but kind of looks like a bit of a fuck boy now with his new haircut.
Yeah.
I was
Bit of a
sitting next to
fuck
Meg
boy cunt.
at the Bendigo show, and we're looking across, and I honestly didn't recognize you. There was a guy filming in the corner, and I looked down. I was like,
Who's this fuck boy?
literally, I was like, that guy's trying to fuck. He's giving off fuck pheromones. Like, and it's just, so Killen got a new haircut over the weekend.
In Canberra, which is a horrible
At
idea.
at Lacut at Belconnen Westfield.
He's naming it.
Oh, naming
It's the worst
and
haircut
shaming.
I've ever seen.
He looks like a
It's
cartoon
not
character.
good.
Would you be able to post the screenshot that you put in the group chat on the Reddit? Oh, you know what? We could post it on the Instagram if you want people to see it. But
Yeah, that's funny.
or should we make
put
it
it
a
in the
reason to
subreddit.
go check out the subreddit?
Yeah, subreddit exclusive there. We'll put that in there.
Yeah, if you want to see the worst haircut of all time.
It's
but
not
then
good.
since it's grown out 3 days later, it looks a little bit better.
Yeah.
Mm.
Thank you.
But you had it spiked, and it was just
Yeah,
like,
you tried to fix it
Oh,
by doing product and
no,
shit.
because you've never seemed like a guy to me that's like, you like me, like you don't do a lot with your hair. I just kind of like get it cut to how I kind of like it, and then I just don't really touch it, and I just push it aside, and that's all I do.
Mine's more of a Sistine Chapel situation.
What? Because it's
Takes
time-consuming
generations
and it's
to build
overrated.
beautiful tourist attraction.
No one really cares about it anymore. Is that it? Is that why it's like the 16th
What do you
chapel?
mean no one cares about the Sistine Chapel?
Who
It's
talk-
the fucking Sistine Chapel.
No one talks. Like who's talking about that?
I wouldn't even know what country that's in.
It's in Italy, isn't it?
Okay, well, I
Is it
guess
in
you
Italy?
guys just aren't cultured.
Is it Italy?
Man, none of
Rome?
your business. I don't know where it is, but I do know the name of it. That counts. So there's been a
It's, Vatican City.
what?
Vatican City.
Of course it is. Also, I'm going to regret this because I'm. This is going to
Yep.
be. I can already see the memes appearing.
Yeah.
I 100% my entire life thought it was the 16th chapel.
The 16th chapel.
Yeah, I was like,
I wonder where the other 15
yeah,
are.
legit. I was like, what's the big deal about the 16th one?
They're like, and done.
Is it the
This is the main
Sistine?
one. Yeah, Sistine. Sistine.
It sounds like a mouthwash brand.
It really does. Sistine. It's like not as good as Listerine, but you can still get it.
Yeah.
Sistine.
Sistine.
Although I would say there's because it's in the Vatican City, there is a lot of gargling being done in there.
There we go. Lewis is back, guys.
Oh yeah, I'm back in.
How was Aubrey? You've got Aubrey written on our whiteboard here.
Oh, before we get to that, I wanted to say what happened with Keelan.
Oh, yeah.
So there's been a lot of patrons coming to the No Slide season tour. Thousands of people coming. Love that. Being nice to me. Not being nice to Keelan because they think that that's allowed because they listen to the show and there's a
what
bit of
way?
banter. Well, Keelan, would you like to tell the story?
For this story?
How about, okay, either, what do you think? Do you tell us the story or do you just read the Reddit post?
Why don't I read my version? I tell my version of the story, then I'll read the post.
Okay, I like that.
Okay. So I'm sitting and I'm just doing my job, filming when I need to, taking photos when
So I'm
appropriate.
performing right now.
You're performing.
Is this in Bendigo?
This is last night.
Yeah.
In
Okay.
Bendigo. The camera's next to me on my right, and then Meg and Luke are past the camera.
I can verify all this information. I was there.
And looks like a fuck boy, just to
Yeah,
paint
and
a
he,
picture.
yeah,
No one's sitting on my left, but in the row in front of me, to my left, there's people.
yeah.
Mhm.
You
Just
said
girls wanting to fuck you.
you said a joke that I hadn't heard before because it was
Because the show's always evolving
Always
and improving as the tour goes along. So the more times I perform it, the better it gets.
And I
that's why
went-
you should get a ticket at loosespears.com.
You're like an AI machine of comedy. You just
Yep.
keep getting better and
It's
better and
evolving.
smarter.
Yeah. And pretty soon,
Smart,
by the
yeah.
end of the tour, I will eliminate the human race.
Yeah.
and I went ha 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 and chuckled like that.
Fakely like that?
Well,
or
not
Well, I
fakely.
would
or
hope
real?
that it's real. Otherwise, if you were up the back of my show going, ha ha ha, ooh, I'd be like, I would also be like the patrons would be like, fuck you, Keelan.
It's like you're just paying him to be like a studio audience. That's what we pay you to be here, actually.
I would have just gone ha ha. Anyway,
Yeah, a real laugh.
a
Yeah.
real.
You
chuckle.
could have just said that you had a real life. You didn't have to fucking try.
I think we're all having a chuckle because you did some few good bits of crowd work, and I'd heard some of the bits before, and I was laughing at some bits I'd never heard because it was hilarious.
I chuckled anyway, and this guy from the row in front of me turns around and goes, "Get back to work."
I shouldn't laugh because I don't want that to happen. That's the rudest shit ever. Get back to work.
I thought,
Fuck.
oh. And so I just glared at him, and then
Yeah,
looked
what
ba-
did you say? What did you do?
I didn't say anything. I
You
just
death stared.
death stared him and then looked back at the stage and pretended to ignore him. And he looked at me for another 5 seconds and then turned around defeated.
I think he was expecting a laugh
Yeah, he
or a
was.
comment.
Yeah, but you know what happened there?
Yeah.
Not your mate. That's what happened. That was not your mate-itis.
It's
where,
so weird when like people come in because you know what it's the thing of podcasting and I feel like it with other podcasts. It's like if you listen to something so much and it's also the positive of podcasting is you feel like you know the people well. And that's great. And you guys, we share our whole lives in this podcast.
Yeah.
We do. So therefore you do know us.
Yeah.
But here's the downside of podcasting is we don't know you guys.
Yeah.
We see a number on a screen
Yeah.
and that's awesome. And we love to get to know you at the show.
We love the connection and the comments
Yeah.
and meeting people afterwards.
That's why the sound off section exists. So
Yeah.
we can get to know you guys. However, it's hard to sometimes put a username next to a face at
Yeah.
a show. So therefore, when you tell one of us to eat bag of dicks and we've never seen you before,
Yeah.
and you're like, get it? Eat a bag of, and
Yeah.
we're just like, no.
Did you like the show, mate? Nah, it sucked. Oh, I worked really hard
Oh,
on
that's so weird because we've never met and you've just trashed me to my face, which is fine, but also quite rude.
And you're going to think about this on the drive home.
Yeah.
And I'll forget about it.
Oh, clearly
Wait,
not.
you know what?
Clearly we
I'll
are
pick up on it.
overthinking it.
Well, what I'm saying here, guys, is Luke, you know how sometimes in like primary school, high school, when you really liked a girl and you wanted to date her, and then she put you in the friend zone. What we're doing
That never
here,
happened to me.
Oh, that never
That
happened
was
to
frequent.
you. Yeah, frequent, right? It happens to everyone.
I was such a loser in primary school. I've only realized recently.
I
thought I was cool, I think.
No, I was really cool in primary school. Fucking loser in high school.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened.
I
I
did
fucked it up.
I thankfully did it in the right order.
Yeah.
You don't want to peak in grade 6.
No, I peaked hard. I peaked really hard. I was like, man, I'm the coolest guy ever. And everyone was like, bro, check out Lewis. He's cool. And then I got to high
What
school.
happened?
I got friend zoned
happened?
by a girl. I fell in love with a girl and I followed her around like a fucking lost dog for 2 years. And then she was like, I don't like boys like this. And then I was like, oh, fuck. I spent 2 years trying to get a girl and now I have no friends.
Yeah.
It took me like 3 to recover, but now I'm the fucking coolest cunt ever again.
I think you definitely.
I don't have any mates, but I'm cool ass, and that's how I like it.
You
It's
are a guy
perfect.
who peaked when he was 11.
What I'm
That
saying
is totally your energy, and I've been trying to pinpoint it until now, and that's it.
Yeah, that's good. I still play with toys, still read my comic books. I'm living my best 11-year-old life. I'm saying bad words because they're naughty. It's great. It's really good. I don't drink alcohol.
You're true.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
I'm 11. Now, what I was saying is that how sometimes you get put in the friend zone by girls. What we're doing now to the listeners is putting you in the not friend zone. So we like you, right? We love the connection, right? But we're not friends.
Yeah.
Me and you, friends.
Yes.
Yeah?
We hang out all the time.
Hang out,
almost
see
every
each
day.
other all the time.
Yeah.
Me and you, pointing at the camera,
Mm.
not friends. We got a connection,
Of course.
right? Love you guys. Appreciate you. Wouldn't see a movie with you. Would I?
No, you wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't
You know
I
why?
would not. You know
You
why?
wouldn't. And it's not
'Cause
even a.
you're not my friend.
Yeah, and also, not even. That sounds, maybe does sound rude, but if you really think about it factually and define what a friend is, don't ask Lewis, he doesn't know. But
Oh, look. I was just going to say, look up in the dictionary. I don't need to know.
really, you wouldn't consider us one of your friends, right? Like, they wouldn't.
No.
It's not like, obviously, we don't consider them friends. But
You like us, we like you.
Yeah.
But
some comedians are like, who's someone, okay, I like Robert Downey Jr. I think he's a great actor.
yeah.
I wouldn't consider him a friend, and I would know that he's not friends with me. Now, not a great comparison, not on the same level as him. You know,
True.
we are more accessible. But say someone like maybe
Here we go. Dictionary
yeah,
definition. A person with whom one has a bond of mutual affection, typically one exclusive of sexual or family relations. So, mutual.
Yeah.
You like us? I'm kidding. I would just say, you don't have to fucking try and talk shit for fun because it's just always weird.
No, you know what? This is how let's conclude this, okay? We would actually, well, maybe you wouldn't, but I actually don't mind the idea of like growing a relationship with my audience. But here's
Yeah.
the thing. People jump in at friend level banter when really you should actually be going for
Start slow, man.
making a friend banter.
Yeah.
You don't come in hot like that when you meet someone new, do you?
No.
Because you're like, oh, you feel each other out, get more comfortable, then you start throwing around the banter.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's
But
it.
like people come in at hot and heavy, like best friend level.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, we haven't built up that much. You
Yeah.
know? And there's a few people who have been coming to shows for a few years. I see them every year at the tour.
The regulars. They're
regulars.
great. You recognize them, you go, hey, man.
And I know that, like, I know
Thanks
a lot
for
of your
coming back.
names. And therefore, you know, and I would consider them be like, yes, we are at banter level relationship now. Like, if they want to
Yep.
throw me a zinger after the show, I get their vibe. I
Yep.
know who they are personally.
Mm-hmm.
Boom.
That's it.
That's it.
There you
so,
go.
you know, there's 4 people listening to this who can have a cheap shot at Keelan, and you know who you are.
Well, no, at you. They don't know Keelan. They know you.
That's true. Please don't have a cheap shot at me either.
Some guy came up to me after the Melbourne show and goes, "Hey, Kale, can I get a photo?"
That's funny. I like that.
And then I turned around and said,
I'll allow that.
I said, my name's not Kale.
Keelan has like no tolerance.
I
It's
met a
great.
guy named Kale, obviously in Cairns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I said, like the shake, and he goes, no, the vegetable. And I went, oh yeah, it's a vegetable.
Should I read this post that this
Was
guy's
he in a
made?
wheelchair?
Yeah, he was at the 16th chapel as well. What do you mean? Why?
Was he a vegetable?
Oh. Oh wow.
That's a good one.
Yep.
Yes.
It's one. I don't know if it's a good one.
Well,
It's a one.
it's one. And you know what? I don't know Kale.
Yeah.
So I would never say that to him because we're not friends. Yeah.
I want the Next Life podcast. Vegetable bit. Vegetable bit. Lewis does the veggie tour.
Call it. I'm bringing back Veggie Tales.
All right, go.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just cut from like what you guys already know of the story. So he
No,
says,
read the whole thing.
Okay.
I want to experience
Did
the whole thing.
someone
This
post
person
their
posted
side
it.
of the story?
Yeah, it's great.
In
We laughed about this the whole way home.
in big
No, I
cap.
thought you guys were still laughing about the fog bit. That's what it seemed like.
Oh, well, it was a mix.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Okay, the title in big capital letters says, "I made a mistake." And then, okay, it goes, just sounding off, was at the Bendigo show and me and my friend were sitting in the back row because we rocked up late. Halfway through, Keyhole sat behind us and started taking photos and whatnot. During a laughing break, I heard him chuckle and then turned around and said, "Get back to work." As a joke. I've never seen anyone so unamused in my life. Please, Kaylin, it was a joke.
Oh, man.
You know
That's
what?
funny.
It's good to see. Not often in this community.
See, and that's what we're talking
Yeah.
about. When you do that, you always regret it. We don't feel it. You do. It ruins your night.
I like that we're like. I feel like we're three dads here, and we're trying to teach you all how to act in public.
It is. It's just normal social etiquette shit. When you see a show, don't tell the guy that it sucked as a joke because it's not funny.
You know what? Each time that you've said the line where the guy goes, "Get back to work," it's amused me more. So now I'm thinking maybe you should have given it a chuckle. It's a pretty good one.
No, because people do that
It's
to me
not.
all the time.
Yeah,
every
it's
show.
not a good one. It's funny for us because
Yeah,
we
yeah.
know him.
Yeah.
And it's just weird because we're not friends.
Yeah.
But we love you guys and we do appreciate the sound off section.
So what I was saying just before that is like it's good to see for once in this community a little bit of self-awareness.
That's
Usually
true.
there's not a lot of that in the sound off section. It's a lot of people throwing around opinions left, right, and center.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people willing to make to be like, oh, I made a mistake. You know, it was a good one. Someone had a massive crack at me. It was just ages ago about we were talking something about tax or I don't know something to do with accounting. Then some accounting nerd got in there and was like, no, you're an idiot, blah, 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 and wrote me this whole paragraph. Then I commented back to him something about farts. I don't know. I just like didn't give him it, and I just couldn't be bothered to argue.
That's my best is when someone writes 6 paragraphs and then you just go
yeah.
and you just give it. You just completely disregard their whole like the 7 minutes they spent writing that up. You
But
go,
I
"Put
didn't
that in the
even
bin."
understand what he was talking about. So I was like, dude, I don't care about accounting. We talked about this weeks ago.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what this was about.
Yeah.
Then I saw 3 weeks later, I got a notification on YouTube. He's clearly done some research, gone away and gone, I just realized you were right. I was wrong. And that was great.
That's great.
To hear, to
Love
be like,
that.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
3 weeks ago when I had a massive crack at you, I was actually incorrect. And because
That's
that
good.
doesn't happen a lot on YouTube.
On the internet in
No,
general.
it
Doesn't happen ever.
ever.
Oh, I actually was wrong and you were right. My apologies. Never happens.
Never happens.
Have you
So-
seen Twitter?
I appreciate that on the subreddit. So
Yeah.
if you want to make it, I'm not saying you need to, but if there is something that you regret,
If you have any apologies, put them in the
put them in the
subreddit.
subreddit. We might have to make. Is it like different threads? I don't know how it works.
You can make a post and then underneath that post it has
Yeah,
comments.
so maybe someone make a post and then all
Keelan
apologize.
can do that.
Do you wanna make an
Official
apology
thread
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the
that would be great.
subreddit.
Good idea.
Search Luke and Lewis, you'll find it.
Awesome. Now we're gonna do. I think we'll do it next week.
Fuck that. We need to talk about the best underwear in the game. Whatever you were going to say, so much less important.
Yeah.
What were you going to say? Boring! Nobby.com.au to get your underwear. The best underwear in the game.
Yeah.
For only $20 a month. How good is that?
They're so good.
Oh, sorry, you talking about Nobbies?
Yes.
I'll continue.
No, actually, I was just gonna move on because.
Oh, that sucks. Get it off our show.
No, I just that we really need to talk about
all of this.
like,
All the stuff we were going to talk
Yeah,
about.
all that
Yuck! I want to talk about Nobby underwear. Nobby.com.au.
Your laptop is down there and you don't want to break it.
I don't
You're
want to
throwing
break that.
things around.
Just
and-
be careful with that.
Yep.
But back to how good Nobby
Yeah.
underwear is. $20 a month, you get a pair of underwear
I'm
delivered
sorry,
straight
were
to
you
your
just
door.
fixing your laptop then?
Yeah.
Boring. Talk about Nobby,
I'm
dude.
trying, right? Dude, they're the best underwear in the game. I'm wearing mine now.
So am I.
We got sent like a bunch of pairs, and now we're signed up
I'm
for
wearing
the
mine as
monthly
well.
thing.
We
I'm
all
wearing
wear 'em.
mine. Dude,
Well, after I did a bidding last week, if you didn't see last week on the show, we did a live bidding of all our old underwear because you know why? We don't need them anymore because
Yeah.
we are on the subscription.
We've
We're
got
part
enough.
of the club.
yeah, it's great. Like, actually,
$20
now
a month,
I'm
that's
like,
it.
oh, today I'm wearing my neon ones. Tomorrow, I reckon I'm going to wear my Sharkies.
And I was hanging out with the people from Nobby the last 2 weekends. Absolute champions.
Absolutely.
Did you know it's like the best origin story of all time?
Mm.
Like it made me love their brand even more.
Oh, yeah.
Family,
How did they start?
Family run in a garage, vacuum sealing the underwear with like hair dryers, going down to the post office, sending them once a week. Like
Sick.
how you remember when we used to send off our own
Yeah.
merch? You piss off the post office people with a box of shit.
And they go, oh,
Yeah.
my job.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's how it all started, and it was just so cool seeing them grow into like
They're
literally one.
sponsoring music festivals that have
Yes.
Tiger at them,
Yeah.
which is crazy. So that's fucking cool.
And it shows that there's a reason as to why they got so big. And then once you
Yep.
become part of the club, you will not regret it. Also, $20 is, I didn't realize, cheap as F.
for good underwear.
For good underwear,
like,
so cheap.
I would say comparatively
But better than-
quality-wise, if you want something that's like as good as this.
Don't say the brand, but there is a
You-
brand that rhymes with Alvin Line, and it's better than that.
Yeah, it's better. And
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 it's-
Alvin Line undies are like
Yeah.
$40-50 a pair.
And same
I
with-
used to have them.
Yeah.
I've gotten rid of them.
And same with Cons as well.
Cons. I hate cons.
Yeah. And
And
I can't think of any more underwear brands.
for the ladies, Victoria's Hecret.
Yeah.
Gross.
I mean, I've never. Have you tried it on?
No, but I've seen their runway show. I got to say they are smashing Nobby on the runway shows.
We should do like okay, maybe we'll bank this one for the future.
Did you just remember your dad bod?
Yeah. I just remembered that I'm probably not in the best shape to be
Yeah.
doing a
I
catwalk
mean, I could do
at
it
the moment.
right now, but you
I had a
need to catch
great
up.
week in the well gym last week, and then
Mhm.
once again went away. Things got a little festive.
Yep.
Far North Queensland.
Mhm.
I wanted to see what the local festivities were like, and
Yep.
boy, were they fun.
Not good. Well, just to wrap up, nobby.com.au to get your underwear.
Yep.
$20 a month. They're genuinely very, very good. If it wasn't good, monthly subscription services do not last
No.
like years if they suck because everyone will just cancel.
Remember
So
when I told you that my mate Simo wanted to start a toothpaste subscription company?
oh yeah.
There's a reason why that never got off the ground, because it's just the quality and even the direction of the company nowhere near as good as Nobby.
Simo's toothpaste. Come on down and get your teeth. Give them a Simo Sparkle.
Imagine if
Simo Sparkling toothpaste.
Imagine if that's what we were coming in and like talking about all the time. Like, oh, we've got a bloody pearly white.
If we were sponsored by Simo's toothpaste, this podcast would suck. Do you know why?
Why?
We wouldn't have any teeth.
or any
We'd
money.
be like, well, Simo's toothpaste is really good. I just write it all in my teeth and I don't have to worry about brushing anymore.
But yeah,
Oh, poor
nobby.com.au for the comfiest undies in the game. We would highly recommend it, and it's
Yep.
awesome to see a bunch of you guys already supporting them as well. Get on board, and we love
Mm-hmm.
seeing you guys at the shows. So many people at the shows. Always after the show, you're like, oh my
I
God.
never would think that, like, getting into comedy, I would see many male dudes show me what they're wearing underneath
Yes,
their
people
pants.
get excited. Like walking around the music festival, people like recognize us, me from
Oh,
the
at
podcast.
the music festival, so not
Yeah.
even our shows.
Oh, dude, it happens in public. People
Oh,
come up to
awesome.
me and go like, dude, check it. And you're like, oh, sick, man.
That's great. That's awesome. Cool. And that's even more genuine because people might wear Nobbies to our show to make
Yeah.
a point, but just coincidentally on the street,
Yeah.
bang.
I've seen a lot of pubes.
Yeah. So
Sometimes people muck up.
Yeah.
Like they
pull the pants down,
Yeah.
undies up.
they get
Pants
the wrong.
down, undies up.
They put their thumb in and they pick up the wrong waistband.
See a nut.
Yep.
check it out, my nuts. And you go, oh, are you a Nobby's customer? And they go, what's Nobby?
No,
I just want to show you my nuts.
Our podcast is like after Nobby, say like next week we'll just be sponsored by Damo's Nuts.
We posted a subreddit. I made a mistake. Showed Keelan my nutsack after the show. Forgot I wasn't wearing any undies. So go get him. All right, what else do we need to talk about here?
Well, I was going to say that
we get to all this boring stuff now.
we need to say that we had an announcement today.
Oh, we have a huge announcement. We've got a huge, massive announcement, right? And I'm excited. You excited about the announcement?
About it.
Yeah, it's going to be. You excited, Luke?
I couldn't be more thrilled, Lewis.
Who should say the announcement? This
Paper,
is huge.
scissors, rock, because I
Huge.
want
All
to
right,
do it.
okay, ready? Paper, scissors, rock. Oh, yes. I get to
Lewis
announce it.
gets to
Okay,
announce
so
it. It's so
we
annoying.
have a huge announcement. We're super excited about this. We've been working on this for a long time, and it's finally time to let you know, right? The official announcement is, right, today we have decided to postpone our announcement to next Tuesday.
Yes.
Because we thought we would be ready, but we're not.
No.
So we're postponing the huge announcement
what an
to next
announcement.
week. And now you get double the announcement.
You guys, I mean,
Whoa,
I'm
that
glad.
was
I'm
good.
almost glad I lost because I felt like you nailed announcing that.
I was nervous then. My
I
heart's
could
racing.
tell, but you.
Woo!
I really thought you played it off good because that was exciting, and
Yep.
I think a lot of people listening right now are going to be like, "Wow,
That's
I
crazy.
came for the announcement,
Yeah.
and now I'm going to stay for the next one
Yeah.
next week, hopefully."
Yeah. Now, we really thought we were going to be ready, huh?
Yeah.
But that just shows how big the second announcement is,
and
the original one.
I was going to say our show has been a little announcement heavy lately.
We have been doing a lot of stuff. It's just because the shows, we've got the show rolling, we're on our feet, we're on our legs, it's growing.
evolving.
And we're just working out where we want to go.
I'm sure Gorillas had to make heaps of announcements. Guys, bit of announcement. We've got arms now. Oh, yeah. Oh, guys, we're losing our fur. No way.
Oh, I'm cold.
Yeah.
Oh, I can speak.
Yeah.
Guys, we've got language.
Yeah, good announcement.
Yeah.
Actually, that would have been where the first announcement started.
Probably.
Yeah, before then it would have been just grunts.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Messed up that bit.
Yep.
But yeah, we got something big for you on Tuesday.
was all part of
Sorry,
the script.
we've been announcing a lot of shit, so we've been very busy.
Speaking of, while we're just going with announcements, can I make one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just like to announce. Hang on. Okay. Kellen, are you pumped for this announcement?
I'm pumped. I'm ready.
Lewis, are you pumped for this announcement?
Are you gonna do the fog bit?
Huh? No.
Oh,
No,
well, yeah. I mean,
No.
I guess then.
Because
I
you guys,
guess.
it's only upon request.
Okay.
And
you
I
do
will
the
never
fog-
do it on the
Oh.
podcast. Only at live events.
Yep.
So, this is a pretty exciting announcement.
If we stop the podcast now, will you do the fog bit?
Yep.
All right. We'll come back in a second. Jeez, that was good. It gets better every time. How good was that?
That was funny as.
That was so good. I
man.
can't believe you did it 3 times again.
That was amazing.
So
Yeah.
good.
So, can I?
Sorry, I was thinking about the fog bit. It's so good.
Can I,
Woo! Fog bit. Woo-hoo.
can I do the announcement?
I mean, you're not going to live up to the fog bit, but yes.
Sorry, no one heard that. So that's
Yeah.
fine.
Okay. Right.
This will kill at people's homes and
Yeah,
their
okay,
offices,
yeah.
Wherever they're listening.
Unless they're listening in the midst of fog.
In that case, no
Continue.
comparison.
Yeah. Keep going.
I have an announcement. Speaking of postponing things,
Yeah.
I want to postpone one more thing
What?
to next week.
What?
I did want to do a segment. It was suggested during the week, and I believe in the segment. I think it's going to
Yeah.
be great. A few people suggested Crumb of the Month segment.
Oh,
Where
yeah.
we point out the biggest
Yeah.
crumb. Maybe we have a few honorable mentions of people who are doing some crumb activities under
Yep.
our posts.
Yep.
It's just a crumb, for those who didn't hear last week, is just someone who sucks at sounding off. They sound on. You know what I mean? There's
yeah.
someone who sounds
Just
on.
a typical crumb, like when you put up a post about your tour and they go, "Oh, are you coming to Brisbane?" Like the day after you go to
Yeah.
Brisbane. Yuck.
Another one I had. Here's an example. During the week, I posted a podcast, right? And now Lewis.
Well, now
What-
are we doing the segment?
No, this is an honorable mention. I'm assuming
okay. This is a prelude.
This is just
so you get the vibe of the segment.
You get a taste for it because next week
Yeah.
when we start
Get a taste, ladies.
crumb of them. That was a good Tiger impression. Yeah, and then he just does nothing for an hour. So, Lewis, what is my profession?
Comedian.
Great. Awesome. That's what I thought too.
Mm-hmm.
However, someone also knew that. So I did a
Okay.
podcast, my personal podcast during the week.
Yep.
I said in that podcast, as a joke, because
Yep.
again, comedian.
Yeah,
that,
you tell. Is your podcast like an in-depth discussion?
Not under the educational
TED Talk.
section. No, it's under the comedy section of
Oh,
iTunes.
yeah. So obviously you would be telling jokes because
Yeah.
you're a comedian and it's listed in the comedy section.
And let's be honest,
Yeah.
if you're coming to my podcast for anything informative,
Oh, you have a small brain.
incredibly smaller than mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I only attract.
Because if you see Luke as a smart person,
Yep.
do you know what that makes you? Less smart than Luke, right? Same with my podcast.
Moron.
Yeah.
So I was talking about the poo jogger. It was a news story that
Yep.
happened recently in Australia. Lady did a shit 5 times on Roxy Jasenko, is that her name?
I think so.
On her doorstep. And it was big news all around Sydney particularly. And I said, I think, as a joke, now it was more of a premise this is, but I joked about it for a while on my podcast that, look, America has all these big problems like school shootings, gun violence, blah, blah, blah. And I was joking that Australia, it seems like, while watching the media this week, that Australia's biggest problem is the poo jogger.
And let me tell you why that's funny. That's funny because
It's an exaggeration.
it's a comedic exaggeration. Because
Obviously, we have
the
problems.
humor in that is clearly, obviously, that's not our biggest problem.
No.
Because we have real problems, but the media's focusing so much on
Now-
the poo that seems like that's our only issue.
Lewis,
That's why that's funny.
That was a great point. You know why? Because you are not the average crumb.
Yeah.
But
I'm a bit of a loaf.
Yeah. Here's what the average crumb does. Now, you
Yeah.
want to be a loaf. You want to at least be a slice.
Yep.
But this is what the average crumb does. RJ Chavez. I'm happy to name
Surely
and
they
shame.
didn't take you seriously.
Yep.
And say,
I
actually,
understand you're a comedian. Full stop. That's where the comment should have ended.
that's the comment. I understand that you're a comedian, so I guess you were joking.
You
So
ready?
I don't have to rebut you as if you were making a serious argument.
Are you ready for
Because
it?
you weren't.
I understand you're a comedian. Here it is. Keelan, get ready. Brace
I'm ready.
yourself. However,
That's the start of every shit comment. If you start a comment with, I know you're joking, however, or I know you're trying to be funny, but your comment sucks.
poo is far from the worst problem your country
Oh my
is
God.
facing right now. Then the one replied to it, good on you, Alexandra. Crumb.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so good. That's someone that heard you go, America has a problem with guns, and we only have, and we go, oh, you have problems too.
Yeah. And it was so great that even like
So
people
good.
under my podcast, which I haven't talked about the whole crumb thing on my podcast yet, even they identify. It's good that people are starting to identify crumbs now.
Oh,
You-
absolutely.
You can pick them from a mile away.
Yeah, and you know what? When you jump on a crumb and you absolutely
Stacks
devour
on.
them, you know what that makes you?
Yep.
A proud, strong magpie. Sees a crumb, swoops on it, just eats him up.
Yeah. You know what?
And whenever there's lots of crumbs, what do you see? Heaps of magpies,
Yep.
dogpiling.
Dude.
There's not even a crumb left, but they're all going, get him, kicking him while he's
I
down.
know,
That's great.
I would like. I know you've opened your own season this year.
Yeah.
Can we open one on this podcast?
Yep.
It's swooping season.
Oh, absolutely. Swoop gang.
Swoop gang,
Swoop gang on
represent.
these crumbs.
Get in there and swoop them
Swoop,
crumbs.
swoop.
Point them out. All right, send us a crumb moves because we're gonna start next week. Crumb of the month.
It's-
We're gonna have an
no,
official
it's-
title.
Yep.
All right, and by the way, we're not glorifying crumbs. Crumbs.
Crumbs?
It's a shame.
Clumps.
Clumps. I'm
Yep,
a crumb.
clumps.
We're not glorifying them.
No.
That's not what it's about.
Absolutely
It's
not.
not like the Joker.
Shame.
Where we are shaming crumbs. We're not saying it's behavior that
Now
you want to
look, I
replicate.
understand you were trying to be funny then,
Yeah.
but the Joker is actually not about making bad people seem good. It's actually a piece of art.
However, yes.
Yeah.
Now that was a crumb comment.
Yeah, that was a crumb comment. So gobble me up, boys.
And the reason why I said that was because a lot of people on Twitter were saying that Joker was encouraging violence when really I don't think
I
that was
think
the
it's
case.
just a movie.
I think if you watch that film and
Just encouraging a bunch of Instagram model dickheads to take selfies on stairs.
if
really.
you watched a film that's set in Gotham and are taking that as real life, you're a dickhead.
Now, yep, so there we go. Join the Swoop Gang. It's open season in the comments
Yep,
here. No
Swoop
slide
Gang
season, Swoop
represent.
Gang
And
collab.
by the way, this was a little bit of a problem before we move on. few people falsely identifying Crumbs in our sound off section during the week.
Yeah.
I was trying to get in there and police it. One person asked a legitimate question under one
It's
of
not
my...
any question, right? You know what
No.
I've started to notice now? People are so on high alert about
They're
being
on
called
high
a
alert.
crumb is often now, and I love it because I know that it's a genuine question. They go, hey, Lewis, I checked the website, but I couldn't find this. And then they
Yes.
ask like a super specific question. And then I go, oh, that's not on my website. So I'll tell them or direct them to the correct place.
Here's one.
Mm.
Again, this guy was hyper aware that I think he was going to be a crumb. He said, just sounding off, promise I'm a real fan. I'm just going to buy your special very soon. I'm just waiting till I have a nice day off where I can sit, have a drink, place it down and get comfy and enjoy watching the special. Now to my question, should I wait to watch this behind the scenes documentary because I posted a behind the scenes look at the special during the week, or should I watch it till after? Heaps of people dived on. Fucking crumb. Like,
That's a fine question.
that's what I said. I had to get in there and be like, guys, this isn't a crumb move.
Yeah.
He has been so reasonable. He literally explained himself perfectly. And someone said crumb, and then a few people liked it, and I said, whoa, he ain't no crumb. He's a busy man. All right? Just because someone has a life doesn't mean they're a crumb.
In fact, I would say, right, often in the real world, like on a kitchen bench situation, when you have a loaf, right, a godly, like, complete loaf, lots of slices of bread, what you will often find surrounded that loaf, bunch of crumbs. And I think that's what's happened is a kitchen bench type of comment there. The loaf has come surrounded by crumbs going, you're a crumb. And, oh, sorry,
And
you're
then
the crumb.
I really like that the loaf has held his ground in this situation on the bench,
Good.
and instead he's tagged the other person and said, the only crumb I see here is you. I think my
Exactly.
question was rather good. Only crumbs don't have any understanding for another human being.
And you see, that's what I love. A loaf knows who the crumbs are,
Yes.
right?
Good. And then a few people came and backed him up, said, and tagged the guy who called him a crumb, saying, stop crumbing around.
Yeah.
Someone said, first you're on Lewis's post asking where the venues are. Then you're on Luke's post telling people they are crumbs. Who the fuck do you think?
That's good. See, crumbs get called out. Loafs do not concern themselves with the opinions of crumbs.
Yep. Good.
Ancient Chinese
and
proverb.
What is great to take away from this whole conversation is good to see a lot of people just arguing in comment section about
Absolutely.
who is a crumb and who is not.
That's good. That's good.
But
And
yeah,
I
just
think
make sure you're careful when identifying crumbs.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to, falsely call a
The
crumb.
only thing crummier than being a crumb is falsely identifying someone as a crumb.
Falsely accusing is not cool.
Not good. All right. So I think we're at a good point in the
By the way, it's called
podcast there.
falsely a crumbing. Good. Now, if we could use
I
that
do like
official
that.
terminology in this comment section, that would also be great.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Okay. I think that might wrap it up. Other than we need to say Luke and Lewis tour is on sale. lukeandlewis5.com. Grab your tickets. We're going to Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, Adelaide and Perth.
One thing, yes, that is a good thing to say.
Yep.
No crumbs allowed. One thing before we head off is we need to have a quick team meeting.
Yep.
On Thursday, I believe it is Halloween here in Australia on the day of our next episode.
Yes.
Are we doing now? Obviously, we've left it a little late to
Very
organise
late.
costumes. However, wouldn't it be great? I thought if, as a team, we did last minute Halloween. You have to use a costume that you've already owned.
Okay.
So it's a no effort thing, but we are
Yep.
participating in the event.
Mhm.
Are we doing it? Do you
Yep.
have any costumes?
I
at
don't
home?
think I have any because I just moved and thrown everything
You're
out.
gonna have to get
You will
creative.
I mean, what costumes
God,
do I
I
have?
just feel like if we don't celebrate
We
Halloween,
have to do
there's
it.
a few people going like, "Oh, did you know that's Halloween? You guys should probably dress up." And I was like, "Oh, we should."
I solved the mystery of the Waluigi costume, right?
Oh, from the
There's
radio show.
There's a reason why there was no evidence of me buying or
A
renting.
little bit of a. Do you want to give a bit of context for people who might have missed that episode?
Oh
'Cause it
yeah,
was
we
on the
talked
radio
about
show.
on the bonus radio episode. Is that coming out tomorrow? Or is that already out? No, it was out last week. So on the bonus radio episode, we're talking about how I want to dress up as Waluigi for Halloween, but I don't know if I purchased or rented the Waluigi costume that I dressed up in as a joke
It's just
beforehand.
so weird. He brought it up before the show, and he's like, "Yeah, I need this Waluigi costume." I was like, "Oh, that's sweet. You already own one because I've seen him in one before." And he goes, "No, I'm pretty sure I hide that." And I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
so you gave it back?" And he goes, "No, I don't think I gave it back."
Yeah, that's the thing. I had no memory of hiring or returning a Waluigi costume, which leads me to believe I must have bought it. But then I was thinking, well, if I bought it, I would see it at my house all the time and be like, why do I have a Waluigi
You know, I
costume
think I
still?
because at the time I couldn't get over it. You were like, "Oh, this is $70 to hire this Waluigi costume."
Yeah.
I was like, dude, you got ripped off. Why are you paying $7 to hire a costume?
I just looked up on Amazon. I can buy one for $40.
So you definitely bought it for 70.
Mystery solved. Radio Mike hired it for me on a whim. He called me one day. He was in a costume shop for an unrelated reason. He goes, man, there's a Waluigi costume here. Do you want it? And I said, yes, I want it. Bring it to me now. And so he hired and returned the costume. And that's why there's no evidence or memory of me buying, renting, or returning the Waluigi costume.
That you and Radio Mike had that conversation.
Yeah, which is very like me.
Yeah.
Just completely forgot. Mystery solved, though.
I have another question.
Huh?
Next Tuesday is the Melbourne Cup. Are we all dressing up as horses?
Are we doing a spring carnival episode? Should we wear fascinators?
Yeah, but if anyone falls over, the other two has to kill him.
Yeah, we have to shoot him in the head.
Yeah.
We'll put up a sheet, don't worry, so you guys don't see it.
That's right. And then after the podcast is done, we all get made into dog food because horse races are treated horribly. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
You guys didn't like that?
What about I do the fog bit just to...
No, we don't do that on the podcast.
No, I'm not doing the podcast. We'll end the podcast here. Everyone else will have a shit time, but we'll end up great.
All right, guys, we got to go. Luke has to do the fog bit. But see us on tour if you want to see it.
One more bit of admin. People will hate it if I don't bring it up. Okay. Sorry, I know we've been going for a long time. I'll be really quick.
Okay. And go.
It's getting very hot in here. Obviously, we've still got the heater.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people sounding off very angry at you for suggesting that we spend the $500 that we made off the T-shirts on eBay. That we were you wanted to spend it on Gucci belts for the team.
To share.
I just don't think they, as listeners, as a community, get a lot out of that.
Yeah, but do you remember the whole bit where we said we're not friends? So that doesn't matter. We can still do it.
A lot of people suggesting better idea. Let's spend it on the bar fridge, which we've been saying we're going to get.
That is a good idea.
For ages.
It's a very good idea.
We still do have one lead. That guy wanted to buy it for us. Spoke to him during the week.
Okay.
I think we'll give him 2 weeks. If he doesn't come through on that, I think we just go for it ourselves.
Oh, and then if he gets a team belt.
So, yes. Yes. If he gets that, we'll consider team belts. But
woo!
We need it because a lot of people in the comment section.
We do need it.
It's getting pretty hot in here.
Very hot.
I'm flustered.
Yeah, I'm very flustered.
I don't know why you're wearing a jacket.
Because I look great.
Dude, I'm wearing shorts. I think this is my first episode in shorts. Got the pins out.
Don't like it.
Oh, okay.
Hate shorts. Anyway, guys, that's the end of the show. Make sure you catch me on tour. LewisSpears.com/gigs. I'm going to Tassie soon, Adelaide, Perth, and somewhere else.
Bunbury.
Bunbury. Woohoo.
Hobart?
And Hobart. I said Tassie.
Oh, okay.
So LewisSpears.com/gigs for that. No Side season's been going great. The last 5 shows are coming up. I'm stoked for them. Last 4, actually. Luke?
Also, the pre-order of my comedy special merchandise. So if you want to guarantee your size in a T-shirt, get it before Wednesday. So you got 1 day. If you want to buy a T-shirt with the comedy special, thank you to everyone who's been watching it.
I mean, it is mandatory.
It is.
Speaking of that, one more thing before I know we're doing one more thing, but someone messaged me. I don't know why they asked me, but it was a girl messaged me and she sent me a screenshot of her bank balance because, as we guys know, it is a rule on this show. You have to get Luke's comedy special because everybody has $10 or the ability to get $10.
I saw how many views our podcast has been getting, and then I compared it to the amount of specials that I've sold.
Are they exactly the same?
No, they're not. So it means there's a few people breaking the rules.
Right? A lot of rule breakers that should not be listening to this episode. You are banned. You know you're banned, right? Now, I had a very honest person message me. A girl.
Why didn't they message me?
I don't know. Very confusing choice. But anyway, very honest. Yeah. She messaged me and she sent me a screenshot of her bank balance. And she said, "Hi, Lewis. I know that it's a rule on the show that I'm not allowed to listen to Luke and Lewis until I get the special. However, I only have $3 in my bank account. Right. But I do understand that because I have a phone, I have the ability to get $10. Now, I'm getting paid 2 weeks from now because I just started a new job.
Yep.
Can I please have an extension for the comedy special so I can purchase it in 2 weeks, but in the meantime, still listen?"
What did you say?
I granted her a temporary extension and immunity period,
Yep.
to not be banned from the show because she was honest, and
Yep.
she clearly showed me
Yeah.
that she did not have the $10, which is hardly any money, to
Yeah.
get the comedy special.
Also, maybe even wait a couple more weeks to get back on your feet, and please don't.
No, it's the rules.
Okay.
It's a temporary extension.
Okay, I just don't want to
and,
ruin her life.
Well, no, that's the rules. All right,
okay.
I've already bent the rules for her. All
Yeah,
right, so
okay.
if it's a choice between Foods and Luke's comedy special, I expect you to get the special.
Yeah.
And stuff. And the Luke and Lewis tour is on sale now as well. LukeandLewis5.com.
Brisbane,
tickets.
almost sold out.
Oh yeah, there's 20 seats left.
And
in Brisbane, so
Melbourne
be quick.
is well on the way. Same with Sydney,
Mhm.
Adelaide, and Perth. Oh, the new people that are not getting on board. Adelaide, it's the official party. What's happening?
Oh, Perth is caught up.
Perth's overtaking Adelaide.
Oh, that's very weird.
Very rare as well.
Yeah,
Adelaide. What?
Step your
What
game
y'all
up.
doing?
Yeah,
We'd love to
and,
see you there.
Oh man, there's gonna be so many special guests in Adelaide. Probably we know heaps of people there. Anyway,
Is there?
yeah. Well, I won't say them because we have to answer them first.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about it after you do
Yeah.
the fog bit. Anyway, goodbye. Oh man.
Now I'll do the fun
Okay.
bit.